Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhallow today? Where I hope I don't know if you can or if you can't tell by my voice, but hopefully you can tell that my voice is actually clearing up already. Yesterday was definitely the brunt of I think the COVID impact. Which happened the first time. If you don't know, I got COVID when the second COVID arc. The first time I got COVID was kind of like this. So it was like the first couple of days I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine or whatever. And like one day I was just like, I'm dying. Well, not actually like I'm dying. I'm just like, I can't like focus on anything. Which happened yesterday. So I slept for like 3 hours or something in the middle of the day, which I never do, mind you. But hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:07 p.m. on Thursday, September 5th, 2024. But today I feel pretty much better well, not like fully recovered. I think my voice is still like the thing I suppose that will be the major test of how my throat or whatever feels is how like doing voices feels. You might be like, oh, do you have D&D today? And it's like, no, actually I cancelled it, rightfully so, because I was like, I've got COVID, and my friends were like, fair. Well, presumably, actually, I don't know if many people really replied to it, to be honest. Mostly people replied to the COVID comment, which was on a different server. But anyway, I still need to respond to this D&D stuff. I need to do that at some point. But there's too many things. Forever too many things. That's right. You would have thought that being ill gives you even more time to do things, but it turns out when you're ill, all you want to do is sleep. But yes, what else was I going to say? I don't remember. I guess I'll just sort of talk about holiday stuff. So the episodes are a little bit shorter than usual. Just so I don't have to like strain myself, I suppose, talking about something 5 evs. And by 5 evs, I mean 20 minutes, which is really not that much time, all things considered. I mean, look, we said nothing. It's already been 2 minutes. Just do that like 10 more times and you're good. But what did I talk about last time? Oh, driving, right. In Scotland, road trip stuff. I guess we could talk about like the house we sort of stayed in a little bit. I'm not sure if that will fill up an entire episode, but this holiday, more than I suppose the Croatia one, really felt like us. And like, I'm not gonna say like roommate. I guess we were technically roommates for the duration of a holiday, but it kind of more felt like people sort of like coming together, living in like a community house sort of thing, which is cute. I'm not gonna lie. We certainly did it in Croatia, but Croatia had, a lot more activities, I think, going on at the same time. I don't even know if I even finished talking about everything we did during Croatia. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, I can't remember. But I know I didn't for Spain, because eventually I just like ran out of things to talk about. I just wanted to start talking about different things, and I just never went back to it. So I'm not going to stretch out all the conversations forever, to be honest. But we stayed in a very sort of like nice farmhouse place. It was very much in like, I'd assume it's considered the Highlands. I'm not actually sure what regions of Scotland are divided up into, but it was nearish to Ben Nevis, which if you don't know is the tallest mountain in Scotland. Is it like an exceedingly tall mountain? I mean, no, it's very climbable even for someone with not much hiking experience. It's not much taller than Snowdon, as I understand it. Would I say you should casually walk up there? No, probably not, but, if you wanted to, and you're, like, in reasonable athletic shape, yeah, you probably could do it. It would take you, like, the entire day, so just be warned for that, but, anyway, the long and short, we didn't actually climb up Ben Nevis because the weather was atrocious. Yeah, but it was a recurring thing, but the weather when we went on holiday, it was basically raining that entire week, almost, and then, like, on the day we left, it was like, oh, that's when the nice weather starts happening. That happens, for every time you go on a holiday where it's like, oh, you just got the perfect weather, there'll be a time you go on a holiday and you get terrible weather. And if anything, to my benefit of liking rainy weather, not that bad, to be honest. And Scotland, I suppose, is kind of the place to do it, if anything. It would really suck if you went to like a tropical country and it's like, oh, this is like the rare occasion where, you went to Jamaica and it was like raining the entire week or something. I actually don't know how much rain Jamaica gets. Maybe Jamaica gets a lot of rain. But if you went to like, I don't know, like Mykonos in Greece or something, for spring break, and it was just raining the entire time. But in Scotland, it kind of makes sense. UK is kind of known, especially for its wet weather. We even went to a place in Scotland which had like the highest rainfall in all of Europe or something. And staying in like a sort of like farmhouse, it can be very cozy. We had we had a fireplace thing, but apparently, we lit it twice. On the first day, I think we lit it. I didn't really stay by it too much. I don't remember why or what I was doing on first day when the fireplace was going. I guess we went on a walk. That probably happened. I don't know why I wasn't there to begin with either. Maybe I was doing something else. Who knows what I was doing? I'm a mystery. The second time we lit it was when I was not there. It was an outing, and apparently like it filled the entire like house up with smoke, or it made everything feel very smoky. So much so that like when we got back and I walked into the house, I was like, it smells like smoke in here. And it did. But it's still, cozy nonetheless. It was actually a really nice house, mind you. As I said before, it was like super accessible friendly because the owner, the person who owns the house was explicitly like wanted to have it with disabilities in mind. With accessibility, not disability. Well, I mean, yes, disabilities in mind, but that's not the phrase in use, right? With accessibility in mind, right? So they had like this really convenient like bedroom on the ground floor, which is like right next to the kitchen, has its own ensuite with. I didn't really look in there, but it looked like it had like a disabled toilet or showers or something. I don't know. It had like one of the showers where you don't have to like step up to go into it. So presumably, if you're in a wheelchair, you could wheel up to it really easily. I don't really know. I didn't stay in my room, but I thought that was really cool. And then, when he introduced us to the house, he spoke about it, and we were all just like, that's super cool. Yeah, especially because one of my friends definitely really appreciated the benefits that came of it, to be honest. That's not my story to tell, though. So, and more things should be like that, to be honest, with a sort of simple accessibility in mind, because at the end of the day, it really changed nothing for, to be fair, I guess that's a benefit you can have for this house, housing like up to 12 people or something, maybe more than 12 people, 3, 5, 8, 10, at least 10 people in this house, is the fact that it's probably a lot easier to get these accessibility functions in, because it's, you have more space to work with, right? I don't actually know if that's true or not, so, I might just be speaking total nonsense or whatever. I'm just trying to think, like, it'd be pretty crazy, I suppose, to have, like, a London, like, penthouse suite or something. Like, well, I guess you could make it accessible, I retract my statement. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the long and short of it is, like, it was super cool, and even if it, as many things are, when even if they don't benefit you, they benefit other people. That's cool, and I hope I wouldn't need to expand on that, because that's kind of how it is. But yeah, it was like a really nice place as well. Like, it had like these nice sort of like walks. It was a lot of ground, like, to be honest. Like, I know it's like in Scotland, and the price of like land in Scotland, I'm sure it's a lot lower than it is in like central London, obviously, and maybe other places in the UK. But still, it was like a pretty large ground in the first place. Where it was like a farmhouse, and then like the owner had like his house like off to the side, like up down a road, like past some other houses, like as well. It's just kind of how, like, I suppose farmland works, really. It's like large plots of land. It was large enough that you could do like a small like walking trail hike around it. I'm looking at this photo. That is a crazy good photo of me. What on earth? I'm like spinning around. My hair's just like, I'm like mid-twirl. Anyway, sorry. What was I saying? And it was really, quite pretty. There were animals around the place all the time. Like, they had, like, these 2 chickens and 2 ducks, which basically were constantly just around the garden, like, I guess socialised to humans or whatever, because they seemed completely unbothered by us. They would just, like, walk up to the house, and, we have many pictures of the chickens and ducks about the place. Just sort of walking about. What types of chickens and ducks are there? I don't know, don't ask me. Maybe my friend will, if they're watching, they'll pop in, they'll probably say in the comments or something. But there's a lot of other animals about the place, loads of birds, a load of deer were actually like about the place, I suppose, true to my namesake. Like, there was like a baby deer as well, and like a whole herd of deer. It's like, oh man, the craziest thing at one point is we just got home from, I can't remember what, something, I was like talking to my friend, and then just in the bedroom, I can't remember what I was doing, maybe I was packing or something, and he was just speaking, and I just like glanced out the window. It was like a herd of deer just like running across the field in the back. I was just like, whoa, look at that. That was crazy. As I say, it's even more nature than what I'm used to, and I'm pretty reasonably used to countryside in the first place. I don't know where I was going with this. yeah, it was just like a really like sort of like nice place to walk about with. I mean, we did like many walks. Oh, he also had like this really beautiful pond, which he apparently worked like super hard on. But this guy was like super transparent. We had like loads of conversations. Sorry, I'm like speaking at a million miles per hour. Slow my roll. We had a lot of conversations with him about the sort of like upkeep and the vision he had for his place and the things that he did. He was super, super nice person. But one of the coolest things I thought he had was a pond right by, pretty close to the manor that we stayed in. And he had a pond which was inspired by the works of Monet. I was going to say French with a question mark. No, Monet was definitely French. I mean, like, you say his name Monet, of course it's French. Well, I should probably Google that if I'm wrong. He's French, right? Yeah, French impressionist painter, probably most known for his works with I don't know, to me they have a sort of like a dreamlike feel to them, but he's done things like water lilies. I think is definitely his most famous one. Did he do Ophelia? He might have done Ophelia. Let's see, Ophelia painter. No, that was John Ever Millale. Oh, Ophelia is not how I remembered it. Hold on, what else did Monet do? I don't know, but he does a lot of like these like garden scenes with this like obviously the impressionist art style. I think he was one of the pioneers of it, and he's probably my favorite artist, to be more favorite classical artist, I suppose. You might be like, oh, maybe impressionism isn't under the classical era. Okay, fine. I'm sorry, I don't know that much about art history. Monet just my favorite traditional artist, because his work is honestly beautiful. Every time I see it, Monet, it reminds me of amusingly a time when I used to like learn how to play piano. Like, I had 3 piano teachers, I think. No, 3? 2 piano teachers throughout my years. And anyway, my last piano teacher, very nice, like older gentleman. But one thing I always think about is like in his piano room, because I used to have piano lessons with not with my sister, but like one of us would have a lesson, one of us would like sit at the back and wait, I suppose, and then we'd like swap over. He'd had like this really pretty like Monet painting, probably not an original, I'd imagine a print or whatever. And I remember I used to spend so long just sort of like looking at that, being like, this is like beautiful. Anyway, so long and short of it is the person who owned the Airbnb, the place that we stayed at, had this pond nearby, which he was like, it was based off Monet's like water lilies, and it was really pretty. It had like all these like cute like lily pads on it, and like these the lotus lilies, like water lilies on the pond as well, these pretty reeds. It's very scenic and picturesque, probably even more pretty when it was a bit sunnier, so you know the light was not so murky around it, but even in the rain it was really nice as well. But yeah, he had like there was like really nice trails about the place. There was like a loch, which is just a Scottish word for lake, by the way. It's not like a particularly unique, well, maybe there's a definition for it, I don't know. But there was like these nice sort of walking trails about, with these like wooden bridges, insanely muddy all the time because it was raining all the time, which we spent a lot of time sort of walking through. They had like scattered around like the plot of land, there were like these heads, like stone heads, I guess, not like real heads, that would be not terrifying if anything. These stone like statues of heads or people or whatever. I didn't know the significance of them. I don't know if we ever asked them about that, to be honest. We definitely should have. It didn't cross my mind really, but there's a lot of those fun sort of things about the place. A lot of like wildlife and creatures about the place. I don't know, it's just sort of like, it'd be really nice to own that plot of land and just sort of like be like, oh yeah, let's have a nice walkabout, I suppose. Caveat is then, you know, it's impossible to get anywhere, but still. It was just really nice to sort of like have that natural scenery, mind you. You just like wake up, look outside the window, oh, you just see like mountain ranges. It's sort of like, I suppose I'm hypocritical here, where it's just like, I want that idyllic life of being able to have both that sort of natural scenery, but also the convenience of modern society, you know. It's almost like I want to have that scenic, natural life, you know, just outside my doorstep, but also, you know, be no more than 5 minutes away from a city centre, which is obviously not possible, but, well, maybe it is possible, but nonetheless, not realistically possible. But it was a really nice sort of just like farm, manor, house, estate. I'm not sure what. I think it was called an estate to stay in, to be perfectly honest. I'm trying to think what other sort of like highlights about the place there were. But I mean, there was a hot tub, but like straight up just like indoor hot tub, which is kind of cool. It's not like super my thing, mind you. I did use it once. I used it, I think, on the last day that we were there. Not the day we were leaving, the day before we were leaving in the evening. I was like, okay, I got to actually use it because, like, come on. And, you know, I mean, I talked about this on a holiday to Greece. So, like, hot tubs are, like, I think they're kind of cool, but also they're not super my sort of thing. I don't, like, hate them or anything. I don't, like, sit in a hot tub and be like, this is so uncomfortable. I just sort of sit there and be like, It's kind of like meditation, except for the meditation I prefer is not quite like this, I suppose. I don't know. I'm sort of mixed feelings about it. Well, I kind of like it, but it's not like my... I guess that's kind of how it goes. It's like, I like it, but it's not my favourite thing in the world. I remember, like, one of my, like, my favourite sort of meditations things was when we went to... It wasn't... Well, no, it was Wales, actually. Just, like, in the early morning or whatever. I just, like, sat at the end of a pier, just looking out of a lake and the water. That was... You know, that's my ideal meditation sort of thing. Really cold. I was wrapped up. Nice and warm way. I don't know. But I do kind of like just sort of like chilling in water, which is weird. But I don't care that much for that. Care that much about hot tub. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was like all this like weird shape and jets and things, and I was like, that's not what I need. I just need like a still pool of sterilized water, and that's good enough for me. I make my own meditation. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It was just like a really nice sort of like estate thing to live in, farm estate. Great place to walk about as well. Great holiday location. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye bye for now.